It is just a 16 by 18-foot area. But in this small space, reputations and legends are made. It has been the domain of many great NBA centers, beginning with the league's original superstar, 6'10" George Mikan. He led the Minneapolis Lakers to 5 championships, earning the nickname Mr. Basketball. 20 years later, another towering center was making a name for himself, a player who seemed virtually impossible to stop.
He presented to me for the first time in my career of basketball a guy that really needs some help to guard.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used his graceful skyhook to become the league's all-time leading scorer. He left with 6 NBA titles and 6 MVP awards.
The thing that amazed me the most about him was his strength. He's just an incredibly strong and powerful performer.
The respect between Bill Walton and Kareem was mutual.
It was a very competitive atmosphere when I played against him. I thought when he was healthy, he was definitely one of the great centers to play the game.
Walton won NBA titles with both the Trailblazers and the Celtics, where he teamed up with another star center, Robert Parrish. With his steady, all-around skills, the Chief helped revive the Boston dynasty in the 80s. He became one more link in the chain of Celtic greats, following in the footsteps of Dave Cowens.
The way I played the game was just play it as hard as I could all the time, no matter who I was playing against.
The man known as Big Red played a blue-collar style. His toughness and hustle made him a favorite of Boston fans. But some of his fiercest battles came against another bruising center, Wes Unseld.
My style of play and his style of play, I think, was somewhat compatible in that for 48 minutes, you and I were going to knock heads. If you had something weak about you, I was going to exploit it and make it weaker.
Here comes Willis, and the crowd is going wild.
In one of the league's most dramatic moments, Willis Reed limped onto the court for Game 7 of the 1970 finals. Inspired by their captain, the Knicks won the title. And throughout his career, Reed left a legacy of courage and determination. Joining Reed among the league's greatest centers is Nate Thurmond. His trademarks were his outstanding defense and rugged rebounding. And just as he was leaving the scene in 1977, a new star was arriving. His name, Moses Malone. His relentless work ethic helped make him a 3-time MVP. And in 1983, he won a championship with the Sixers. But Moses would pass the torch to the next group of dominant centers, 4 young stars who would stake their own claim to greatness. Patrick Ewing and Akeem Olajuwon each made his team a championship contender. And in winning back-to-back titles, Akeem also won the admiration of his opponents.
If I was to be compared to any center now, I would love to be compared to Akeem.
Shaquille O'Neal arrived with devastating force and an awesome combination of size, strength, and agility. In San Antonio, David Robinson brought a variety of skills rarely seen in a big man. The centers of the 90s seemed ready to conquer the world, a feeling echoed many years earlier by a brash young star.
In the long run, I'll be able to handle myself man-to-man with almost anyone in the league.
Wilt could always back up his words, scoring 100 points in a game and rewriting the NBA record books. He was the league's most dominant offensive force. But the ultimate test came whenever he faced the game's greatest defender, Bill Russell.
You have no idea how physically imposing he was. But I never considered it a threat. It's just a challenge.
Russell left an indelible mark on the game, and he built his reputation on defense. He was the master of the blocked shot, a ferocious rebounder, and he triggered the famed Celtic fast break. But most of all, he was a winner, leading Boston to an astounding 11 NBA titles in 13 years.